both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years.
So we're going to go for 7 years burning all the weaponry of the world. So this got to happen before peace comes. How can you have peace when you have empires and kingdoms with weapons? Read.
So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any of the forest. For they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoiled them.
Spoil those, rob those that robbed them. Go ahead.
And rob those that robbed them.
So those that have robbed the whole earth and destroyed God's people are going to take back everything that was stolen. That's what Christ is coming back here for. Righteousness, equity, justice. Read.
Saith the Lord God.
Saith who?
Saith the Lord God.
Now tell us the Bible is lying. God said that those that rob will be robbed. Christ is coming back to do this. See, if we have these regular bodies, there's no way we'll be able to be a part of this army and fight and take the weapons. So now, our mortal bodies have to become immortal, like Christ's. Our terrestrial must become celestial. It's coming all together for you now. Read on.
And it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place thereof graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea, and it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there shall they bury Gog and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon-Gog.
So all of them that fought against Christ, the land will be stenched with them. So these nations don't want to give up their empires. They're going to fight. The Chinese don't want to give up their empire. You know the Europeans don't want to give up their empire. They will fight. And they will lose. They will lose. Talking about the coming of the Lord. Read on.
And 7 months.
Let's go to the 14th verse.
And they shall sever out men of continual employment.
So let me tell you, the other nations will have a continual job. Once their weapons are taken, the next thing is to do what? Set the whole earth in order. Now we have to give the nations their duty. What is their duty? Read.
Passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth.
So the nations that don't fight against us will be burying those that fight against Christ. That's what's going to happen. That's what's happening when he come back. Read.
To cleanse it, after the end of 7 months shall they search.
Go ahead.
And the passengers that pass through the land, when any seeth a man's bone, then shall he set up a sign by it, till the buriers have buried it in the valley of Hamon-Gog.
So that's going to be the job of the nations. First, the weapons are being taken. Then those that fought against Christ, you must get buried. See, under the law, it's unclean to touch a dead carcass. So the other nations will bury their own. And then after that, the 7 years of roundup, after that, then there will be peace on earth for 1,000 years. Okay? So now we understand the truth of the rapture, the truth of left behind, and we understand beyond any shadow of a doubt that that doctrine is incorrect. All right? Last but not least, St. John 8 and 32. St. John 8 and 32. Read that.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
You should be free now. Because now you know the truth. I'm going to ask you, brothers, because when you came in, you had questions. Do y'all know the truth now?
Yes. Yes, moved up.
Do y'all have any questions?
Not at all.
Huh?
Not at all.
So y'all understand exactly what's going to happen when Christ comes?
Yes.
And what do you think about the teachings of the rapture and left behind that they're teaching in the Christian church today?
As you were saying,
huh?
Completely false.
As you were saying, everything added all up together as one. But they were saying there's all confusion going on. So everything you were saying is coming together with the scriptures and coming back when Christ's time is coming back. Because as you said, when the Antichrist come here, but the chip is already here. We don't see no beast here now.
Exactly. So in a nutshell, what's happening is they're deceiving the people so that these people will willfully take on the mark of the Antichrist, thinking that they should have been raptured. And if they're not raptured, they can receive any form of spending power that's given by the government. Since they're not floated into heaven, if their pastors tell them, listen, you haven't been raptured yet and the Antichrist is not here yet, you can receive anything the government is giving you. And through that, they will be slaughtered, destroyed. They're not going to understand that they've been lied to. They're not going to understand that until they're being escorted by their government to the concentration camps. So that leads us to the next topic. The next topic that you'll see and you'll learn about is Jacob's trouble.